Well, I'm just going to go back to this. I had to upload, and I uploaded that last one, and we ended up with this here headstone. This is my grandpa and my grandmother's headstone over there in um, Gooding, Idaho. Matter of fact, there's people across the street today at the old fire hall. Looks like two women are there looking over that building. Maybe they're gonna turn it into some country store or something. Matter of fact, I had all this action around here this morning, and I had well, people cleaning up the gutters in the streets out here since I was out here the other day with my rake and stuff, cleaning up here in front of my house. Now today the county got out here and cleaned up around my place, and matter of fact, I had a helicopter swoop right around the house here, nice and close, like a big C shape right around me. You know, I could just look up and just wave at them. I mean, they were that close. And did you hear that motorcycle that opens up right here in front of my house here? You see, that's text messaging, and that might be Donald Trump's weirdos around doing that. You know, I just don't know on that. But now these women, they seem to be liking that fire hall pretty good. They're walking around it. They've been walking around it. I've seen them walking around it. Like they're looking at it, like they're inspecting it, like they're gonna put a business in there or something. I find that very interesting. Since I kind of ran the other people off, maybe now they're gonna decide they're gonna do something different with that place, and I want it down. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move into this story about this bowling alley right here. See, I built this bowling alley with my dad, and I believe it's Mitzi Farhart's brother that came down. He's a short guy, he's a builder, and a guy named Hans. So there was actually four of us that built this bowling alley. Plus, they had the concrete crew come in and put the foundation in first before we built on top of the foundation, is what happened and how it happened. So, anyway, now in this here bowling alley, you know, right about here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here on this here lane right here, Earl Anthony, the professional bowler, he came down, he gave me a lesson in bowling. Matter of fact, he gave everybody lessons in bowling, and they went till like noon or 1 o'clock. And then I was the last person that got to go, and Earl Anthony gave me a bowling lesson out here on the lanes. He didn't particularly bowl a game, but he did roll the ball a few times. But he showed me and he talked to me and he taught me lessons and stuff. And we ended up going into the back room and you know, he handed me a bowling pin and asked me if I'd like his autograph or something, or would I like to go bowling. And I said, well, I want to go bowling. He said, well, let's get out of here. And he threw the bowling pin back in the machine, you know, and that was the end of that story. Now, I'll tell you another thing about this here bowling alley here. Right over here, I believe it was about the same machine. Well, no, the bowling alley door is right there, so it was about this machine right here. Well, I guess that would have been, yeah, it would have been just right here. You know, I was in the bowling alley. When my dad went back east, and I have his bowling diploma from the AMF school, and I watched the bowling alley while Dad was gone. And Mitzi Farhart never came to the bowling alley. There's stories of her going all over the world and stuff and running this bowling alley, but they never want to tell anyone that George L. Wright is the one that ran this bowling alley for all those years while she was off running around, and they give her all this credit stuff. Matter of fact, the O'Connors that came to the bowling alley, and Mike O'Connor was the bowling man for Lewis County, you know, the president of the Bowling Association, all this sort of stuff. He's in the Hall of Fame, him and his wife. And you know, that there's stories about them. They own dairy dams in Chehalis, Washington, right there on Market Street, just down the street from the Chehalis bowling alley. And he's actually Herb's friend too, Herb Kreitzer, the owner of that bowling alley. But anyway, I almost fell into this bowling machine right here, messing around while my dad was gone. I fell inside that bowling machine onto the carpet. I was just rolling around screaming, "Oh my God, save me, save me, save me." You know, I got out of the bowling machine. I carved my things into the back of that bowling machine, you know. You almost got me. I signed my name and my, you know, I put my initials there. And when my dad called me back from Nevada, I need you here. You know, he wanted me to come down here. I don't know why he wanted me down there. Maybe he wanted me out of Elko, Nevada, because something was happening down there at the time. And it's just a good thing that I'm away from there. And that may have been what exactly happened during that time. But I put that, my date right on the back of that bowling machine, right next to the other one that says, "I am back," you know, and I wrote that, I am back. Well, hell, I drove all night. It took me like 11 hours to get there straight from Elko, Nevada to this bowling alley in Morton, Washington. And also, you know, I have that gold mine that's in Nevada, you know, and at that very time, maybe that's when they were orchestrating what they were doing. You know, they got my gold mine down there. And I'm telling you the truth on that one. It just dawns on me that the time might even correspond with each other. So, anyway, there's a gold mine that's about 40, 50 miles north of Elko, Nevada, that's across the way from Freeport Gold, and Freeport Gold jumped claim and went over there. They took that gold mine, and they've been taking that gold over there to Freeport Gold. And they also built 2 buildings over there that looks like the Twin Towers, you know. And the gold mine that's in question is called Bull Run. And I was taken down to Freeport Gold by my brother Jerry that stole gold out of my fish tank. It was in nice ore, rock, just lots of gold, you know. And anyway, they told me $500, one half of 1% royalty, and I had a deal with a company called D Gold Mining for $50,000 and 5% of the royalties for the life of the gold mine. And it looks like that gold mine is still going strong, and they're digging it out to this day. You know, satellite pictures from Google Earth, you don't even need to go there to find out. It looks like there's a hole that's so big that you could put the Twin Towers in it. You couldn't tell me that they never took gold out of it. As a matter of fact, if I just got that $500 and that 1/2% royalty, I'd be a millionaire. You know what I mean? A lot of money. And this has been ripped off from me. By the way, this is 1986 when Donald Trump's actually having trouble, and he's got hijacker airplanes that he's collected. Everything's in question me, and this here bowling alley right now, it was called first it was called Alpine Bowl. Well, airplanes in the name. You know, my dad told me there's a beauty in the things that you see. In the front of the bowling alley, when me and my dad was in the front of the bowling alley, prior to his death in 1993, we talked about all those stones in the parking lot. There's like 37 stones there. You know, I'd probably say there's 37 stones there. That's the name of the number that the Zodiac does. And also, now here's somebody driving really slow. I'll wait to go nevertheless. I wait, they wait. You know, they know what I'm up to. And anyway, a lot of people does around here. But anyway, now going back to this here place, it was called Alpine Bowl. Now, Alpine Bowl is now, was then abandoned. You know, and I went to buy this bowling alley prior to it being closed from the Carol Lee Cook. Now, there's an L right in the middle of the name. They couldn't sell to anybody that didn't have an L in the name, apparently, because it moved from George L. Wright to Carol Lee Cook. Now, Carol Lee Cook, you know what he told me? Charlie Cook told me when I came down there, bowled a tournament in that bowling alley, and Mike O'Connor's wife, Billy O'Connor, Billy, Billy, like Billy Goat Front, whatever, Grump, Billy's sitting there peddling a book about the history of the Morton bowling alley there, and it has no talk of my dad being in there, or me or my dad building that bowling alley, or my dad building that bowling alley. It don't have nothing to do with me. But I said, where's my dad's history of this? And right there, I just said it bluntly in front of whomever's there. I didn't really care. But I will point out the truth. And they didn't even want it known that my dad was even there. Like wiping out history. And there goes that vehicle again. And that was the one that was across the street at the fire hall. They just drove